Hey, everybody, welcome to the CEO series for students, where you will learn how to take charge of your time, maximize your talent, and lead your life like the boss that you are. I'm Christina, business professor, coach, and your personal guide to success in life, school, and business. Now, in this series, I'm going to help you start to think like a CEO when it comes to your education. That means making strategic moves, setting clear goals, and staying on top of what matters most. Whether you're balancing school with work, figuring out your strengths, or planning for your next big move. This series is here to give you the tools, the mindset, and the momentum that you need to take control of your trajectory. So grab a planner or a notebook and let's build a college experience that you're excited to lead. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through a tool that has not only changed my life, but many of my students' lives and my clients' lives. It's called the Pomodoro method, and that might be familiar to you. So let's take a look at what is the Pomodoro method and how might it help you. Wonderful. Okay. Have you ever found yourself in a spot where you're studying and you end up scrolling for hours? You were doing really good, you had a really good goal, and all of a sudden things just are not working out. Maybe you spent 45 minutes scrolling through reels and liking little videos of baby goats. I am guilty of that myself. Maybe you meant to start studying for an exam and then you found yourself checking texts and responding to messages, and you just didn't really get done what you needed to get done. Well, that is an indicator that you might benefit from the Pomodoro method. So, what is the Pomodoro method? It is a time management technique that helps you stay focused and take what I call better breaks. It's named after those little kitchen tomato timers. I don't know if your grandmother had one of these. I don't even think we use them anymore because we have our phones. But the person who created it, his name was Francesco Cirillo, and Pomodoro, the word that this is named after, just means tomato in Italian. And what the Pomodoro method that Francesco came up with is basically focused work sessions, and then you have a short break after each session. And then you have a clearly identified task that you're doing during those focus blocks. Now, when I first heard of the Pomodoro method, I thought there is no way that this is going to work. You can't work for a very short time period of 25 minutes and accomplish anything. Okay, let me walk you through the 4 steps of doing the Pomodoro technique. So, first of all, for 25 minutes, you're going to focus intensely on one task. That means no notifications, no dings from your email, no interruptions at all. Just 25 minutes of focus on one pre-identified task. Then, after 25 minutes, you're going to take a 5-minute break. Now, for me, I generally will stand up, I'll go get some water, go to the restroom. It's a little bit surprising what you can do in a 5-minute break, actually. Then, after that 5-minute break, you're going to go back and do another 25-minute focus session. So you'll continue this for 4 times, and then you'll take a longer break, maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes to recharge. Maybe you need to get a snack. Maybe you need to take a little bit of outside time. It's up to you what that longer break looks like. It's really meant to be personalized by you. Now, here's actually why this Pomodoro works. Your brain can focus deeply for short bursts, like 25 minutes, without getting like exhausted. Especially if you're like me and you've got some ADHD going on or any other like cognitive thing, anything that just distracts or makes it difficult for you to focus sometimes. Your brain really does well once it's trained to work in these short bursts of optimized concentration. Next, it prevents burnout. So regular breaks help to keep your energy high. It's like your brain gets a little reward for doing some work and then it goes back to do some work. Also, it can help you build both momentum and rhythm. So you're not just studying longer, you're studying better. With those tiny little 25-minute focus sessions, you're getting the information into your brain a lot easier, a lot quicker. Okay, let's talk about how do you apply the Pomodoro method or the Pomodoro technique to your study routine. And we'll use it for just any class. First of all, you want to grab a timer. I use the one on my phone. There are hundreds and hundreds of apps. You can pay for fancy apps. There are free apps. I just literally use the timer and set it for 25 minutes on my phone. And I have a nice little tone at the end of 25 minutes that is not jarring for me. You don't want to like jar yourself into the break. Then you're going to pick one task. Like specifically, what are you going to do? I generally will write my task on a note card. And it might look like for the next 25 minutes, I'm going to read chapter 7 and I'm going to highlight what stands out. Like that's my task for the next 25 minutes. It's important to identify that task and write it down so that it's visible. It kind of cues your brain in that, hey, we're about to do something for a short bit of time, but this is the one thing we're going to do, and then we get a break. I kind of think it's like tricking my brain sometimes. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is set that timer for 25 minutes, and you're going to go. So whatever I said on my little note card that I'm doing for the next 25 minutes, I'm doing that and only that. No interruptions. I'm not checking my messages. I've turned off my sound on my phone so it doesn't ding or make any noises for me. Then when the timer goes off, I change it and say, okay, now do 5 minutes, and I take a 5 minute break. And almost always for me, it's go fill up my water bottle, get up and do a little stretch, maybe just do a little bit of chair stretches if you're not ready to get fully up or you don't need to go to the restroom. Then after that, what I'm going to do is when that 5 minute timer goes off, I'm going to repeat the whole process. Identify the new task on my note card, set another 25-minute timer, focus only on that one thing for the 25 minutes. And when it goes off, I take that 5 minute break. Now, here's what I want to tell you about the Pomodoro method. It's not like written in stone. Nobody's going to freak out if your Pomodoro task blocks are 30 minutes. Some people like to do 45 minutes and then take a break. I have found for me that the 25 minutes with a 5 minute break over and over, it works well with me. So you kind of play around with it and see what works for you. If 25 minutes isn't quite enough time, maybe you need to do 50 minutes with a little bit of a longer break. You just figure out what works for you. You can also start with a lot less time and build up. So you could focus on maybe 10 minutes and then build up to a higher number if you want to, if that works for you. Okay, here are some examples of study tasks by Pomodoro. So if let's say I'm working on my planner for the week and I need to figure out how much time do I need to study for Christina's class because she's got a lot of stuff due this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm just basically going to say, okay, what's my task? I'm going to review some flashcards. I'm going to spend 25 minutes on that. Then I'm going to outline my essay, and I'm going to think it's probably going to take me about 2 task blocks or 2 Pomodoros, so 50 minutes. And then I need to read my chapter and make some notes. Maybe for me, that's going to take 4 task blocks. And then maybe I need to do some practice problems. I'm going to give myself 3 task blocks or 75 minutes to do those. Now, for those things that I planned out, the total task blocks there are 10 tasks, 10 task blocks, which equals 5 hours. So somewhere in my schedule, if I want to do all these things, I need to find 5 hours. Now, here's a pro tip that I'm going to tell you. And this, I have proven this true. I almost always think I can do something faster than I actually can do it in real life. So when you're planning this, like let's say that I took my notebook, and I said, these are all the things that I've got to do, and these are my tasks blocks. let's say when I started outlining my essay, I thought it was going to take me 2 task blocks, but it actually took me 4. So I want to make a little note of that so that the next time I have to do an essay, I can kind of go back to my notes and say, oh, okay, I thought this was going to take 2. It took 4. And this new essay is about the same level of difficulty. So maybe I need to plan 4 instead of 2. So it's really flexible, it's really customizable, and it helps you, number one, become aware of what your habits and your strengths are and your areas of opportunity. As long as you don't weaponize it against yourself, right? Let's don't do that. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about a couple of bonus tips for success. Don't work through the breaks. Okay, I did that in the beginning. I was like, I don't need this break. I'm just going to keep working through it. I'll skip the break and do another 25. It's counterproductive to the benefit behind the system, which is intense focus, reward of a break. Intense focus, reward of a break. Our brains really like that focus break, focus break. So do yourself a favor and do an active break. Maybe you want to do some jumping jacks. I'm not a fan, but maybe you want to, stretch out a little bit. Maybe you did a hard workout and you need to like stretch your arms. And definitely hydrate. Make sure you're drinking enough water. As students and as business owners, a lot of times we think coffee has water in it or energy drinks have water in them. But do yourself a favor, drink some regular water. It's gonna help your body. Your body will like you. And then this is another really good tip. Keep a distraction log, or I call it a later list. So this is what happens to me. And when I'm working on a focus block, my brain will say, like, oh, you know what we need to do before next Tuesday? And I could just totally go on a rabbit trail and lose my focus. What I'm going to encourage you to do is do a later list or a distraction log if you want to, whatever you want to call it. But when that comes up in my brain, I literally just go, oh, don't, call my sister or order that prescription refill. I just write that down. Then my brain is not like, hey, don't forget this thing. And it's distracting me from my focus session. Just put it on your later list and then you don't have to worry about it. You can come back to it at a later time. Now, I want to encourage you, the Pomodoro method or the technique, it's simple. It's also really powerful. Even if you try just one session today, you might be surprised how much you get done. If you've got a big assignment, break it down into task blocks or Pomodoros. If you're feeling burned out, like if it's just overwhelming, this usually happens around midterm and a little bit after, try shorter bursts. Maybe try a 15-minute task block. Sometimes just the tiniest little bit of intense focus with a break can kind of get our brain back online. Okay, so to do it today, pick your task, make sure that it's small, be specific. Don't say, I'm going to finish the paper. Your brain, if you write down finish the paper, may be like, wait, what does that mean? Do I need to get citations or do I need to like edit it or do I need to like proofread it? Be really specific in what your task is. I'm going to proofread for this 25 minutes, or I'm going to make revisions for this 25 minutes, or I'm going to do research. Set your timer. Don't forget that. And then make sure that you take your focus breaks because your focus plus your break is going to equal your success. Now, I want to encourage you, like I do with all my students and all my clients, always work smarter, not harder. And you're welcome to share your experience. You can share it under this video. I always respond back to my students. If you've got a favorite study hack you want to share, do that. You can do it in the comments or you can do it in our class discussions. And then if you've got a friend or a family member and they're in school too and they're kind of on the struggle bus and you're just like, God, why is it so hard? Share this video with them. I'm happy to share value into the lives of my students. So if you found this helpful, let me know. If you'd like more videos on a certain topic, let me know. The CEO Success series is going to be videos that are built on what I found my students need over all these years that I've been teaching. And so I found some common themes, and there's going to be some about study habits, some about time management, some about like how to navigate different expectations of different professors. That's one that I'm really looking forward to doing. And also, how to manage life and work and family and relationships and fun time, which we want to make sure we sprinkle in there. All right, folks, I hope that you found this video helpful. And again, I'm Christina. I'm so glad that you watched this CEO Success Series for students. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Bye.